Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. 1.21.6 is just around the corner, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about some ways you can prepare for this update. As like every Minecraft update, there are some things you can do, so as soon as this update releases, you can jump straight into the new features. The main features being with the happy ghast. So the first thing we're going to cover is pruning your Minecraft world. Now, if you don't know what pruning means, it basically means deleting chunks you have already explored so they can be regenerated for the new update. Now, unlike most other updates in the game, you don't need to touch the overworld because the overworld doesn't really have any new features added to it. If you was to prune your world, you need to prune the nether dimension because that is where the dried ghast blocks spawn. But pruning your world isn't really needed in this update. The one new block that does spawn naturally can also be obtained from piglin bartering and also crafting. Now, if you want to find one naturally within the world, obviously you are going to need to explore new chunks. So if the chunks have been generated prior to this update, you will not find any of the dried ghasts within them chunks. But if the chunks are new, then you will be able to find them, and that is obviously where pruning becomes useful. So I now have MCA Selector open, as this is the software I use to prune. I will have this linked in the description if I can find the download for it. So how you prune a world, it's pretty simple, but once again, before you prune anything, I would definitely make a backup, because if something goes wrong, then you can just use the backup and nothing will be lost. So I done it wrong, and that is just because you need to click open world, and then you just select the world you want to open. So in this case, we are going to open up the 1.21 Let's Play. Just click select folder, and then you can see it lets you select the overworld, the nether, or the end. So we're going to select the dim -1, and that will open up the nether dimension. Now, I don't know how much of the nether we explored, and it seems like we've explored a decent amount. This is currently showing the nether roof because of this scroll up at the top here. The nether roof is at 128, so we want to go down to about 100, and you can see the nether is now loading in. So any chunks that I've explored, I now can delete. And the easiest way to do that is go to Tools. We then want to filter chunks. We then want to add one for inhabited time. This is the amount of time the player has spent within that chunk. And then we want to do less than, and this can be anything you want. I would say the best thing to do is 2 or 3 minutes. Because if you are just flying over the chunks, then you're not really in there for that long. If you're building, then you're going to be there for way longer than 2 or 3 minutes. So setting it like that, I can then see that in this area that hasn't been highlighted, I have been there more than 3 minutes, meaning that I've probably built a farm there, built a base there, or maybe looted like a bastion. And then from there, all we need to do is go to selection and delete selected chunks. And that'll then prune all the orange area away. But before you do that, you will just want to make sure that if you have any coordinates noted down, you just want to go to them coordinates and make sure it hasn't been cleared. You can see the coordinates at the very bottom here. And that is how you prune your world. But once again, pruning isn't really needed because you can obtain these blocks in other ways from bartering or crafting. So let's now talk about the next way you can prepare. And that is once again to obtain the happy ghasts. If your main way to obtain the dried ghasts is going to be from piglin trades, you are going to want to collect a load of gold before this update, which I did upload on my channel. I will have that linked in the description if you're interested. And then once the update releases, you can just send all the gold into the system, instantly getting a load of dried ghasts. Once again, if you want to collect a load of gold, the best place to do that is within a Badlands or Mesa biome, because these have so much more gold than any other biome within the game. If your way to obtain a dried ghast is going to be from crafting, you're going to want to collect yourselves a load of ghast tiers, so either go hunting ghasts or build a ghast farm. And also soul sand. Once again, you can get soul sand from piglin trades, so that is another reason to build a piglin farm. Or you can just get it from mining in a nether, but you are definitely going to want to collect some of these resources. Now also in this update, Minecraft added a recipe for saddles using leather and iron. So if you have a newish Minecraft world and you don't have a load of saddles, I would definitely recommend building leather or collecting leather, and also some kind of iron farm, or once again going mining for it. And if you want a lot of iron, the best thing to do is find a iron ore vein, which spawn below 0. And if we quickly just fly around, it shouldn't take us too long to find one. And here we go, we have found one right here. The way to know when you found a iron ore vein is because iron and tough are kind of in a strip. As you can see right here, this is different from if you was to find a pile of tuff like this, and mining out this will definitely get you a load of iron. And the best way to get a load of leather, if it's not obvious, is by greeting a cow with a sharp sword. If you have looting, the cows are much nicer and they grant a bit more leather. You can also just have a load of cows in a pen and breed them up with wheat. That will definitely be a better way than just running around the world. Now, next thing in this update, Minecraft changed the lead recipe, because they did also bring an update to leads. Leads now no longer require a slime ball, and it is just 5 string. So if you want to mess around with leads as soon as this update drops, the best thing to do is find a mineshaft and a spider spawner. Or if you want to go more complex, you could also build a weaving farm, because weaving can place cobwebs and it is possible to farm them in this way. And then once you have a load of string collected, you can then craft up a load of leads. And then with them leads, you can make a train of mobs, as you can see like I've done with these cows. Now this update is mostly about resource gathering. You're going to want to gather a load of resources to prepare for this. Mainly leather, because leather is also used in the crafting recipe for harnesses. As you can see, the harness is crafted with 3 leather, 2 glass, and a piece of wool. The piece of wool depends on the color of harness, so if I use blue wool, then I will get a blue harness. So you're also going to want to gather these resources. Leather you are already farming if you care about the saddle recipe. Glass and wool, you can build a pretty simple wool farm with sheep. And sand can't be farmed, so you're going to have to go to a beach or a desert with a shovel and just get digging. So I've now spent some time setting up a little farming area for most of the things in this update. So we have a little cow farm right here, where you can obviously kill the cows for leather. I have also set up a little wheat farm. Now this obviously isn't automatic anyway, but that is just because the cows isn't either. So you just come here, pick up some wheat, you then obviously replant it, and that is just so you can breed the cows so they never run out, because I can now breed them, and the ones I kill wouldn't really matter. We then have a simple sheep farm right here, some sheeps in a hole with a dispenser full of shears, and that is just shearing the sheeps every time they have wool. We also have a bit of grass around it just so it can grow onto that block. And then under here we have a chest with some wool inside. Now obviously you can dye these sheep whatever colour you want. I've just kept it brown, because that's the colour they were when they spawned. And then we have a simple iron farm right here. This is just using villagers with beds, and then the iron golems spawn up here and fall down, and they fall down here and die. And inside of this chest, you can see we are collecting iron. So just using these farms, we are collecting quite a lot of resources for the new update already. And you did just see another iron golem fall down there. But once again, this update is very reliant on building farms or just going around the world and collecting resources. The only feature that Minecraft focused on was the happy ghast. And then obviously the small features that came with it, like the changes to leads, saddle recipes. Now there is also the locator bar within this update, which will tell you where players are within the world. There isn't really any way you can prepare for this, because it's just a bar that replaces your XP bar when you're in multiplayer. But that is where I'm going to end this video. I covered how to prune your world if you're interested in that. I also covered some simple farms you can build for this update as well. I also have the pigling dried ghast farm linked in the description, because I did upload a video covering that a few days ago. And in my opinion, that is the best way to obtain dried ghasts, as long as you can just supply the gold. Which once again, you can get a lot of it from the Badlands, or you could go more complex with a zombified pigling farm. But anyway, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed, do like and subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys in another one very soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!